Right, so Gary is here, but Gary, before you get on with the sports, you know who this Sergeant Lee is. So, is it Sergeant Lee or Sergeant Lee?
Sergeant Lee.
Sergeant Lee?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Well, it has to be Stoneboy.
Really?
It has to be.
Why do you conclude it's Stoneboy?
No, it can't be Apple. No, I mean, it's. If you listen to the context in which Shatawale sings there, I mean, it has to be Stoneboy.
So is he still dissing?
Oh yeah. So you see, Miss G didn't tell you the story. I'll take just 1 minute to tell you the story. MTV Base had a poll on who the best dancehall act in Africa or Ghana is, right? Then people started voting. Stoneboy took a comfortable lead.
Okay.
So Stoneboy started making noise about it. But by the time the contest finished, Shatawale had won. That's the whole contest.
Okay.
So
okay, that's interesting.
Sergeant Lee,
it explains it.
Otashi Ochati, and you think you've got a comfortable lead. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, you take it away with the sports.
All right. Welcome to the Sports on Prime. I'm Gary Al Smith. We're talking about the National Sports Authority, and the minister is still speaking. We featured him quite prominently in the past week because he's been touring a lot of the facilities in the country. This time it's at the Baba Yara Stadium in Kumasi, and he's not a happy man. As Ekesiama says, he does not like how contracts at the stadium have been handled. Here's a report from Kumasi by Delali Atiase from our sister station, Love FM.
This came to light when Mr. Osei accompanied the sports minister, Isaac Asiama, on a familiarization tour of the stadium on Tuesday.
You know, they have people who are renting some of their facilities, and they are saying they don't have agreements with them. How possible? So if you consider all these things, I'm seriously disappointed. Not maybe in the current management. It's a general issue we need to tackle. So we have to sit down with the current management to change that poor culture, poor documentation processes, poor maintenance culture, and then lackadaisical attitude towards work. We have to reverse all of them before things deteriorate to the lowest level.
Mr. Samuel Osei also expressed his disappointment at the lack of maintenance at the Baba Yara Stadium. The Ashanti Regional Minister says the practice must stop with immediate effect.
My observation generally is that we have very poor maintenance culture. You know, we've said this several times, time and again, but when we came here, there's clear demonstration that poor maintenance culture is seriously with us, and we have to tackle it with all seriousness. Other than that, we always spend money, come back some few years later and come spend more money. We cannot continue with this. We cannot spend money down the drain like that.
We are here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, where the Minister for Youth and Sports, Honorable Isaac Asiama, paid a familiarization tour of the facility. Now, since the construction or the renovation of this stadium in 2008 for the Nations Cup, the stadium has never seen any major rehabilitation works. So now here we are now, it's the gutters down here, and the stench here is just too much. Meanwhile, Mr. Asiama says the National Sports Authority needs a functional marketing department to identify potential areas of business to be used as an avenue for resource. Isaac Asiama says his ministry has been given more powers after the passing of a new Sports Act, and is assuring the public he will do all he can to help the Sports Authority function excellently.
We have given more powers to the Sports Authority in terms of even licensing of facilities out to the Sports Authority. Very soon we come out of an LI that will give more effect to the act. LI gives the operational aspect of the act, so we are going to come out of an LI. All these areas will be included in the area because what we need to do is to have functional marketing department at the authority at the Accra level that will identify potential areas of business. Because what I've seen in our stadium management is lack of marketing acumen, lack of marketing skills to project what we have. You're not marketing them. This corporate boss that we went to see, how many people are aware that we have such nice facilities here? So we need a functional marketing outfit, and that will come from the National Sports Authority through the LA that we are going to give to the art, so that to become more.
Right, so that's Isaac Asiama ending that report from Kumasi there. Meanwhile, the Ghana Olympic Committee said they are determined to clamp down on nationality switches of Ghanaian athletes. Now, you may know that throughout the last 15 years or so, some of Ghana's highest profile athletes have opted to feature for other nations. Top of them have included Ignatius Geiser. Here's Benunu Mensah.
And lately it's becoming more of a big problem for Africa. I'm sure a lot of you hear these days of nationality switches by most of our athletes. As much as we want our athletes to be patriotic, if we don't honor them, if we don't recognize them in the way that Primeval and FAB are doing today, it will still be a problem. The other problem, which is more or less monetary enticement, is something that I believe that ANOCA is trying to address, where we would make sure that our athletes, even if they have to switch nationality, has to be at a discussion with the parent company, and that will come at a price to the parents' nation. That will come up in our discussion at the next ANOCA conference in Djibouti, and I'm sure that once a decision is taken, we'll make it a little bit more difficult for athletes to switch nationality, especially if you've competed for a particular nation at the junior level. But quite apart from that, it's also worth that we acknowledge and give our athletes the due recognition that they deserve. If you look at somebody like Ignatius Geiser, he changed nationality for the mere fact that his travel or money that he spends to buy air tickets to come to Ghana was not refunded to him. So these are very little and very trivial issues that we as a nation or as a people we need to address. And I'm happy the Deputy Minister is here with us, and I'm sure these are some of the things that they're going to look at, that we, as much as possible, cut the number of athletes who change nationality.
And as you know, Benunu Mensah is the recently elected GOC boss who got the position only last month. His deputy at the GOC level is Paul Achu. Paul Achu also happens to be the president of the Ghana Volleyball Federation, and he's outlining the activities for the year, even as we look at getting more laurels at international level in volleyball.
There are a lot of potentials outside. We're going to continue with it this time around. We'll be going to Ashanti region this year. We also introduced last year a regional championship, which brings regional teams together. I mean, it will split the nation into two, southern and northern sector. The first time we did it in Koforidua last year, and this year we're planning to go to Takoradi. The qualifiers, the winners of those competitions, will go into the Zone 3 competition. Zone 3 is a regional, grouping of 8 countries in West Africa. Presently, Ghana is the champion of that group. So, as far as volleyball is concerned, the activities are many. We are currently keeping our beach volleyball teams very, very busy. There is a World Cup qualifier going on now. So, since October last year, we've been very, very active. And going into the Commonwealth game, we will need to qualify. We are aware of that. I think the slot is 12 for the 77, Commonwealth, nations. And if 12, probably Africa will have 2 slots. Luckily for us, we are within the first 3 in Africa already. But come to Commonwealth, well, that grouping will lift us up, because we have only Nigeria as a big team, to beat, and we have been beating them lately. So I am very sure we will qualify beach volleyball into the common.
News in the UEFA Europa League, where Man United are playing Anderlecht, and also you can get it on the sports page of myjoyonline.com when those games are finished. That's the sport for now. I'm Gary Al Smith. I'll see you soon.